Hi, my name is Katie Helliwell. I am the psychic expert. I've got over 20 years experience working with spirit, and welcome to my YouTube channel. I'll be dropping content every single day to this channel. All you need to do is like and subscribe, and also just let me know if what I'm producing for you is actually what you really want to see, or if there's any other content that you've been thinking about and would like to know more insight on. There is nothing I can't explain and give you insight on, so it'll be a pleasure to hear from you. Also, please make sure you follow all my other channels as well, my Instagram, my TikTok, and my Facebook business page. If you go into the description on this video, can't get my words out, if you go into the description, you will be able to see the links there to my Facebook group, Talk Spirit to Me. I'm live in there 3 times a week, and it'd be a pleasure to have you. Anyway, enough from me. Enjoy the trainings. Hi, my darlings. Hello, hello, hello. So today we're going to talk about what your spirit guide actually thinks of you. Who's ready for the training? The link to the membership is there. Feel free to add yourself on and you get access straight away. Okay, so what does your spirit guide really think of you? Have you seen all those funny memes that go around and they're like, there's a person on a roller coaster and the one's hanging on to say like, you guys are hanging on for dear life like this, and your spirit guide's like, yeah, I love life. And it's like, oh my gosh, how can I ever feel that way? Why don't I ever feel like I can just be free and just be happy? And the reason is your spirit guide is enjoying themselves, but their hands out because they know they're safe. They know they've got you. We're clinging on because we never know what's coming up around the corner, and we're hanging on for dear life. So if we need to be more like our spirit guides, we need to be more carefree, we need to let go, we need to stop the struggle, we need to stop the push and the striving for something that sometimes doesn't need to be pushed for, just doesn't. So we assume sometimes with our spirit guides that we ask too much for everything. It's like we ask for too much. And guys, I've been doing spiritual work for over 20 years, if not a bit longer now. And hello, everyone joining. And for 5 years, no, 6 years, I've actually started to ask for support in just 6 years and for guidance for myself. It felt wrong before. It felt like I was cheating somewhat or doing something untoward because like I've got this ability and then surely that's taking advantage of it if I ask for stuff for myself. But I didn't realize that the more I asked for stuff for myself and the more I got supported, the more I could support everybody else. I was like, oh, it took me a long time to make that correlation. I'm a little bit slow, but there we go. So we assume that we are asking too much from our spirit guides, that we are putting too much pressure on them, that we're limiting what can naturally flow, what's naturally meant for us. So we just end up feeling guilty. It's like when we ask for stuff, we should ask for world peace or ask for hunger to be eradicated, or I should ask that the people in, that have had something awful happen to them, maybe like an earthquake or one of those tidal waves that scared the bejesus out of me, something like that. We should ask that they find peace and happiness in their life. We shouldn't be asking all the time for ourselves. But you've got to understand that your spirit guide isn't here to save the world. Your spirit guide isn't here to save you. Your spirit guide is here to guide you. And so we can wish that we, by not asking for ourselves, that it will make some positive impact elsewhere, but it actually won't. So the more empowered you are, the more happier you are, the more balanced you are, the more that your spirit guides can support you and the more you can do as a human for the rest of the human race. And you have to look at it like that. It's a very different perspective. And once you get that perspective, your connection with your guides becomes a lot stronger and you become more connected to your whole purpose. So you can never ask for too much from your spirit guides. They have nothing else to do. They have no judgment and they have nothing else to do other than serve you. So you not asking doesn't mean that they're going to temporarily go over to the other side of the world and go and help with something over there. That's not the way it works. When we are actually asking, we can be often unsure of who we're asking. So I don't know about you, but if you can imagine, you're being asked here to ask a spirit guide that you can't necessarily see, or you can't necessarily hear, can't necessarily feel, and you can't necessarily know who they are, to go and support you with this, that, and the other. It's like me saying to you, isn't it? Oh, that person over there is your parents. It's like, no, my parents are the ones that brought me up over here. No, they are. So you're going to go and live with them now. Like, what? Don't know who they are. Can't go live with them. What? Like, yeah, they're your parents now. Off you go. It's bizarre, isn't it? It really is bizarre. So I do understand that the energy takes a while for you to make that link and make that association, actually want to actually go and do that. Like it's a big thing. So when we're not sure of who we're actually asking for support from, it's very hard at times to make that connection and that link and feel that support and that guidance and trust the guidance coming through. This is the thing that takes that little bit more time. So it's really important that we understand that your spirit guide is somebody that's been there with you since birth, but you can identify something to them in order for you to be able to connect more to them. And what I mean by that is, for many, many years, every time I thought of spirit guides, I thought of a ball of light. It was the most least inoffensive thing I could think of. I felt comfortable, I felt at ease. It just made me feel like, yeah, I can get my energy behind a ball of light. So ball of light seemed non-offensive. I used to see all the lights around my eyes all the time when I wasn't like developed properly. And I just made that association with spirit guides. So it felt comfortable. So does like angel wings, and so does candlelight, and all of these things I could associate with a spirit guide. And I felt comfortable talking to something that was non-offensive and easy to recognize, like a spirit guide, like a ball of light. So again, the people that make breakthroughs with this are the ones that can find something to associate spirit guide with, because we are human. And if you are visual and you're a visual person, and to know if you're a visual person, you like to watch things, you like to see people's faces, you like to make your house look pretty, you like things that are aesthetically pleasing, you're a visual person. So if you're a visual person, you're going to need something to visualize when you're making that connection. Otherwise, you're always going to feel like you're talking to thin air. It's not going to work for you. So we need to think about what it is we're actually asking, because your spirit guide will be sat there thinking almost like, why are they not connecting? Why are they not trying to talk to us? Why are they not letting us help? Why are they not asking for any guidance? Why? What is going on? So they're in as much of the dark as you. They don't judge you. They don't sit up there with a notepad and pen saying, well, you down there have been good for XYZ days, so now you get to have abundance. That's not the way it works. They don't carry that judgment, because they're not meant to judge you. What they're there to do is guide you, create opportunities. And our job as humans is to make it as clear for them to send us the information, to send us the updates, to send us the opportunities, clear that path as much as possible. So this is why it's easy for you to create more chaos in your life when you've already got chaos in your life. So if things aren't going right for you right now, and then all of a sudden more things come. So you know that saying when it says, when it rains, it pours, or things always happen in threes, or something else will come along and it always gets worse before it gets better. That's because you've accepted that you're in that place where you only expect your guides and the universe, whatever it is you believe in, to deliver you more of what you've already got, what you can actually see in front of you. That's all you can associate that link with. Can you see the difference? So if you are thinking like that, then your spirit guide can't send you clearly support. So in those moments, you're very much like, well, if there was a spirit guide up there, or a God, or a universe, or something looking out for me, they wouldn't let me sit like this. They wouldn't let me struggle. They would help me. It's like, well, no, you've got to do your part as a human to help your guides. You work together in unison, and that's what happens. So if anything, your spirit guide wouldn't be sat there thinking, oh my gosh, that woman's a pain in the backside, or that man, or whoever it is. They would just literally be like, I wish they would do this. They're not getting the message, we can't get through, so let's guide them this way. So in a bad situation, you'll be guided to do something that you possibly wouldn't normally do, or you don't understand why you're being led to do it, but you're just being pulled, and that's your spirit guide. So they're not judging you and your poo storm. They're not judging how much you're creating more of this poo storm. They're literally trying to direct you out of the poo storm by flashing a light over here to get your attention, and hoping to God that you pay attention to it, even if you don't make the link, it's them. Do you get the scenario? So there's no judgment. we often get unsure of how we receive the information. This is another thing that stops us. It's like, well, how do I know that was my guide? And how do I know that wasn't just a coincidence? And it's like, the answer sometimes is you just don't know. You just don't know. But I like to think of the fact that if you have asked for support and you have asked for a situation to be resolved, or you have asked to not feel the way you do feel towards something, you want to feel differently. So say if you feel negative towards your money flow, for example, or your gift, and you feel like, oh my gosh, I feel like I've got something, but this gift is driving me mad. I can't make these connections where other people make it. So you're feeling frustrated. It's okay to feel that. It's okay to feel and be aware and be honest about what's going on, but you can always choose to see it a different way. Like, I choose that my guides will guide me in a different direction. I choose that my guides will lead me over here somewhere where things aren't quite as bad, where I can make the next choices that are more aligned to me. Do you get that information there? So they will send you bits of information, but when you actually sit there and think, how is this going to come? What if I've missed the signs? Then again, you're blocking the path to spirit. You need to be aware of, I will get the signs. I am there, spirit. I understand you're there too. And I'm going to be open to whatever it is you send, and I'm going to be full alert, so I'm there ready and I get it. And if you can promise that to yourself and to them, then it makes all the difference. It makes all the difference. So this is what makes us hold back from leaning into our guides, those main things, but then also thinking that we're being judged. That we as humans are judged by most people every day. You're judged by your clothes, you're judged by what you say. I even get judged by my makeup on Instagram. Somebody was horrible to me the other day about my makeup. To be fair, the lipstick was a bit dodgy, but still, like, people are always judging, always. But the ultimate judge is not going to be your spirit guide. The ultimate judge is yourself. So if you're thinking that you're being judged, or if you ask for too much, you're going to be questioned some way, it's because you feel that you're in the wrong somehow, and you shouldn't be asking, or you shouldn't be doing that. It's not your spirit guides. They don't judge you. They're just like, right, that's the request. Where's the quickest way around this? And where can we go that's the easiest path, that's the clearest to deliver this to them? That's their thought. They have no other thought process. We just think that we are sometimes a car crash waiting to happen, and they just must be so angry, so frustrated. But you need to make life easier for yourself and for them. And that is, I always know the way that's right for me. I know that this situation right now isn't quite ideal, but I choose to find an easier way. And I look forward to it. I look forward to finding an easier way. So your guides, no matter what you do, I've got my notes here, by the way, always think that you are magnificent. They do. So if you can imagine someone that you idolize, or an idol, or someone you look up to, it's like, you think they're magnificent. You think there's something about them that is like just amazing. And it's like, they think that about you. And they just want you to live your life in a way that is good to you, that makes sense to you. Not that is dictated by somebody else's thoughts or preconceived ideas, what you think you should be doing, or to be a good person. Because that is, what is that? What is a good person? It's different for everyone. They want you to live your life the way that you want to live it, that feels right to you, and to do what you feel is right for you to do. So if something feels right for you, then it's the right choice. You're being led, you're being guided. It isn't a coincidence. You need to lean in and ask for support. If you lean in and ask for support when you think that, I don't know what I'm doing, or I don't know which way to go, or I don't know what's this next, and yeah, I suppose I could ask for spirit guides, but then I probably won't even realize when they've communicated it to me, and I'll miss the sign, so what's the point? You poor spirit guide. They still think you're magnificent. They still think you're magnificent, even though you've gone round and round in circles, and you're just, yeah, just crazy, just crazy. So do what is right for you. Lean in, ask for support. And this is the biggest thing. Finding the frequency that leads you to them. Now, this is the hardest thing to master, and I can't believe I've written this down for you all because it is something more advanced. But when you find the frequency where they can send you support, you've completely nailed the ultimate guidance. Completely. There'll be no questions of, was that my spirit guide? Was that a coincidence? It'll just be pure miracles all the time. And how you find that frequency is you feel in that moment of whatever situation you're asking for advice on, where you feel the least detachment, where you feel the most detached from. So if you are, for example, let me give you an example, in a family. So you're in your family, you're in a relationship, you've been in your relationship for a long time, it feels easy, you're in a really good place with your partner, they support you. It just feels so lovely and such a beautiful exchange of energy. You wouldn't sit there and plan out exactly what you were going to say to your partner every morning, would you? It's like, no, it just flows naturally. No, they just know what I need and I know what they need. And we have this almost unspoken language between us where it's just all so beautiful and plain sailing. So you wouldn't plan it out, would you? You wouldn't plan anything. It would feel weird to do that. So it's an open, clear energy. It just flows. So if you think about what in your life just actually flows and you're sure of, you don't question, you just feel comfortable. If you can get that energy towards you and your spirit guide and use that as like a marker. So do I feel like this when I ask my spirit guide for this? If the answer is no and it doesn't feel flow, you know, you've got work to do. If it feels really comfortable and you're like, yeah, actually, you know what, this feels really good and I feel really comfortable about that. And yeah, then you've nailed it. You've nailed it. But this is where you have to understand the difference in the frequency. Because when you're sat there going, please, spirit guide, please send me this, and I promise I'll be really good for the rest of my life, and please, 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 it's like you're strangling the energy. You're on the wrong frequency. You're in need, please, God, someone save me mode. So you're only going to get either a short-term instant solution that is something that you don't really want, and you're just like, seriously, you sent me that, thanks. Or it will be something where it'll be a tiny bit of a connection, but not the full connection that you want. Whereas if you go into the frequency of, I want to feel this way towards my guides, what do I need to do to feel that frequency? You're going to receive there. And use it from something you already feel is completely flowing in your life beautifully. It could be anything. It could be that you wake up and go to work and you do your job with ease. It could be that you wake up and you get ready with ease. You never have to worry about what to wear, or everything just flows. Your mornings always go beautifully. So you don't expect there to be any drama in your mornings. It's just nice and flowy. This is the frequency. So we need to adapt that frequency to your spirit guides, to that connection. And once you've got that frequency on there, I've just given you the best ticket to the lottery, the winning ticket to a lifetime of castles in your life and travel and rainbows and sunshine and unicorns. That's the ticket. That's it. If you want to learn more about this and you want to learn how it actually works for you, so you can get on that frequency, you need to get in the membership. You need to get in. It's $33 a month. I cannot stress to you how it will change your life. $33 is all it is. And don't be underestimating that membership. Don't think, oh, it's $33, it's probably rubbish. It's not, it's amazing. Get yourself in there. I've just dropped a brand new course. It's at the very end of the membership and it's everything you need right now and more. Okay. So I love you all so much. Thank you for your patience. I am back tomorrow. Thank you to all the newbies joining the group. Make sure you watch all the previous trainings when you get 5 minutes, or when you get about 10 hours, because they're quite long. But when you get some time, just go to what you're drawn to. Have a wonderful rest of your day. Remember, you are fabulous. You are loved. And I love you all. Bye, gorgeous ones. Bye.